Hey folks, welcome to another episode of the SEM Session podcast. If you haven't joined us before, this is a raw, uncut, unedited video series where we teach you how you can attract, convert, and retain more customers to your brand through search marketing. Today, Nate, what are we going over?
You tell them.
We are going to look at how to implement structured data. Nate has generously loaned us his Mean Peak agency website. So we're going to see if we can get some structured data going on there and test it out. And hopefully someone learns something and is helped by this. All right, so let's get right into it. What is structured data? It's a joint initiative by search engines to make data and information more organized and make it easy for webmasters to tell search engines more about their business in a way that robots can understand. So if you guys have heard of schema.org, that is the joint initiative that they're kind of an entity which collaborates with, Bing, Yahoo, Google, all the other search engines, if there are any. Just kidding. We know there are lots of them. So basically, what you see here is some JSON structured data. There's a few other types. I just brought up this resource from Google because I didn't want to use my own words, and plus lends a little bit of credibility to us here. But you can see there's a couple different types or formats of structured data. The one that Google recommends you use is Json-Ld. So that's what we'll be looking at today. We might also see some microdata as we go through this, and if we do, I'll try and point that out. Otherwise, we will be mostly focused on the JSON. All right, so Nate, I have hacked into your website already. And first, let's take a look at. So Nate's business is a web design agency, and what I like to do when I'm working on structured data is to basically just find someone who's doing it well and copy them and change what you need to do. So generally speaking. Structured data, when we talk about local SEO and how name, address, phone number is really important for SEO, structured data is really important for pushing that information to search engines. And you'll see what I mean by that. I'm going to pick a big market and say NYC, and we'll do NYC Web Design Agency. And I'm just going to pick one of these. And I'm not going to click on any ads because I'm a nice person. And we'll just see. I definitely didn't do any research here to understand who's doing this well. I definitely don't have Max Burst written on my notepad as someone who does this well. Totally random. Never been to this website before. All right, so we're looking at the Max Burst source code, right? And just for the record, real quick, NYC Web Design Agency, that is a pretty competitive search query. You can see that these guys are paying, 18, 17 bucks a click, 20 bucks a click maybe for these spots at the top of this search results page. So this is a highly competitive search query, and Max Burst is #1 in the organic local pack. So they're doing something right. And here they are on the first page of organic results as well. So one of the things they're doing right is structured data. So we talked about schema earlier, and here you'll see the familiar Json-Ld markup. So this is an example of what this should look like on your website. You can see that they're pushing their name, address, phone number, name, address. They have 2 locations, it looks like. Here's their name. Here's their phone number. Here's their other social profiles. And when we talk about JSON-LD, and Nate knows what I'm talking about here, this is actually just a JavaScript object, right? JSON, I think, stands for JavaScript Object Notation, I believe. JSON, is that right?
Yeah.
Object notation, yeah. Oh, okay. All right, so this whole snippet is JavaScript, right? It's a JavaScript object. Here's your key, here's your value, and then within this object, they're using an array as a value for their social profiles, and then this key is using an array with an object inside of it. So it's an array with two objects inside of it. That's pretty cool. Anyway, this is basically what we're going for here. So I'm just going to take this and just steal it. Thank you, Max Burst. At least we're giving him some free publicity, you know. Oops. So we want code snippet, and we're just going to paste it right there. We're going to run the test to make sure it's valid, and it is. If it was not valid, for example, if I delete this comma and then run it again, it is going to throw up an error. See? Error. Okay, now we'll replace the comma, and we're good. Okay, so let's start kind of migrating in some of Nate's data. So this is going to be mean peak. We're not going to include an aggregate rating for now because I'm not sure how many reviews Nate has. Actually, we could do, I know you have at least one.
Yeah, this is 2 or 3.
Okay, well, all right, we'll just put 3 and we'll see what happens. The reason that you can put this schema in your source code is it produces results like, and you guys have seen these results before. They're the results with the review stars on them. I'm trying to think what would be a good query to see it. But maybe if we just go back to NYC Web Design Agency, we might see some. Yeah, so these stars here, actually that's Google My Business, but yeah, and we're not seeing any stars in the search results. So Google's ignoring that part of the schema for this specific query, for this specific niche. But some niches will, like if I say buy phones online. And none of these have stars either. Well, you'll just have to trust me that Google puts review stars on organic listings sometimes. Let's do one that I know is going to produce a query and say, or some stars, and say 2018 American Eagle gold coin. And there's no review stars. All right, I was wrong. Oh, there we go. Hey, look at that, Nate. Cool. So you can see how this markup helps this listing stand out a bit in search, right? Because these other websites don't have those. So that's cool. Little self-plug there. Okay, so moving back to this structured data, and we have to wrap this video up in like 5 minutes, so I'm gonna like really run through this fast. Legal name, is it MeanPeak LLC? What's your legal entity?
Yep.
MeanPeak LLC. Your URL, do you use www or no?
Yes.
All right.
And HTTPS.
Cool. And now we're gonna snag your logo, which is right there, so that should be easy. We're just going to take this URL and we're going to throw it, we're going to throw it right here, logo, paste. What's your, you want to use an email here, Nate, or should we leave that out?
Yeah, we can use an email. Just do
meanpeakgroup@gmail.com. Try and grab a short description from his website. We'll just use this one for now. Nate can go in and change it later. Description. Telephone number? If I you got one on here?
No, it's on my Google My Business. It's 802 39. You got it. Yeah.
I got you. You got to put that on your website, Nate. Copy. Put it right there. I think it just wants it in with dashes. And then we could grab your social profiles, which I think are probably in your footer, if I remember correctly. And we'll just throw these in. Oh. Nope, you got to update those. All right, so we're going to skip the same as section. All right, we're just going to take out this key and key pair, this value pair. And we're going to move on to address. Do you use vset as your address?
Yep.
All right, so we can do postal address. This is Burlington, Vermont, 05401, street address, 266 Main Street. All right, and like we noted earlier, because this other agency has 2 locations, they're using an array here. We don't need to do that, so we're going to take out the array and just have an object there. And that should work. All right, so let's test it. And it seems to be valid. So now we're going to copy this. And we're going to come over to Nate's backend. Nate's on WordPress. And we're going to go into his theme. Actually, I want editor, right? Nate knows WordPress better than I do, so I'm just kind of feeling it out. And we could put this in a few different places. We could put it in his header, which is actually where it was in MaxBurst. Oh, no, actually it was in his footer. So let's put it in the footer. I usually put it in the footer. You could put it in the header. But we're just going to throw it in Nate's footer here.
Sounds good.
And we're just going to throw it. We're just going to throw it right at the top of the footer. And we'll leave a little note. And we'll say, how do you leave notes again? Is it something like that?
Which language?
What's that?
Which language? PHP or?
HTML. Is that it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like a caret and then exclamation point, then dash dash.
And then how do I close it?
Dash dash caret.
Dash, dash. No, but it's not working. Oh, there we go. All right. Schema, JSON, structured data, MVM, and today's the 26th. So we'll just say February 26, 2019. Put that in there. And we'll put an end here too. Bang. End. Structured data. Bang. Why did that not work? Why is that not a comment? Am I crazy? Or should that be a comment? What did I do wrong, Nate?
I don't know. It looks like that was the correct comment.
Oh. Oh. We're missing an end script tag. Did I? Huh. Yeah, okay. Well, was he missing that or did I just not grab it? Okay, I didn't grab it. So I forgot to grab this. And we're just going to throw it in here, right here, end script. And then that turns into a comment. There we go. We're going to save this. And we're going to wrap it up, and I am going to hop on my 1 o'clock. Sophie's walking in. Hey, Soph. All right, good stuff, Nate. Folks, join us on the next episode of SEM Sessions. Comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you later.